Hello everyone and welcome back. So this is another session of IDT as well as composition scheme. Okay, and this is probably the last session. Today few illustrations are left. Okay, we'll complete those and then we'll move on to the MCQ part and we'll finish it off. And from the next session we'll start exemption. Okay, so let's see. We did till illustration 114. Okay, this one, the doubt where was there that whether it is taxable or not, 12 lakh, 2 lakh. Okay, now we'll start with example 150. What it's saying that X and company being a supplier of taxable and exempted services registered under GST law in the state of Maharashtra and furnish the following information pertaining to the preceding financial year. Okay, so this is the data of preceding financial year. Intrastate supply of taxable output service. Okay, exempted supplies. Okay, intrastate interest earned on deposit, loans, and advance. We know that this has not to be taken. So, what is his turnover in the last year? His turnover was 28 plus 22, which is 48. No, which is 50. Correct. It is not crossing 50 lakh. So, what he can opt? He can opt for 10 2A, correct? That services limit of 50 lakh. And what was the tax rate? Tax rate was at the rate of 3% of total turnover. Total turnover. Is there any delay?
Yeah, there is delay. So.
Okay. Inform me whenever a delay is there because it's not possible for me to look at the screen everything. Okay, so what I was talking is that so output services is there. Okay, so what they're saying that supplier of taxable and exempted services. Okay, and output services and exempted supplies. Correct. We don't know if they're saying that exempted supply, what it is, goods or service, but we'll assume it to services only. You can assume it good also, no issue. So this interest on deposit of loan and advance, this has not to be taken in current in aggregate turnover. Correct. So what is turnover is 50 lakh, which is not exceeding 50 lakh. That means he can opt for section 10(2)(a) under services, which has a tax of 3% of total turnover. Correct. Now let's see what next they are saying that turnover during first quarter of the current financial year of X and company is as follows. Interstate supply of taxable and exempted is 8 and 2. Okay, interest on deposit, loans, and advances is 5. Okay, let's see what the question is there. Find X and company is eligible to opt to composition scheme in the current financial year. We saw that yes, it is. So to pay tax under 10(2)(a) shall not include value of exempted supply of service provided by way of extending deposit loans. Correct. So then that, so it is, yes, it is eligible. Okay. If so, find out CGST or SGST liability of company for the first quarter of the current financial year. Okay. Who will help me out to find out the turnover on which tax is to be paid? Does this interest on deposit amount has to be taken or not?
No, sure. Only output services and exempted supplies, 2 and 8.
Correct. So 10 lakh is the amount, or what is the tax? So 10 lakh into it will be all total 6%.
Yeah.
So it will be, I think, 60,000, if I'm not wrong. 0.30, 0.30. Okay. Aggregate turnover has included only this. Correct? Very good. Guys are getting it. Okay. Now they have said with some practical problems. Name. Okay. So let's see example 116. Mr. Sitaram is running a consulting firm and also a ready-made garment showroom registered in same PAN turnover of the showroom is 60 lakh and receipt of consultancy firm is 12 lakh in the preceding financial year. So what is his aggregate turnover? Aggregate turnover is 60 plus 12, which comes out to be 72 lakh. Okay, is he eligible? Yes, he is eligible if services are within 10%. So what is the 10% of 72 lakh? It's 7.2 lakh. So he's supplying 12 lakh. So here only it is correct that he is not eligible. Okay, let's see the question. You are required to answer the following. Is Mr. Sitaram eligible for competition scheme? We calculated no. Mr. Sitaram is providing services in consulting firm, hence he is not eligible for competition scheme. Okay, the doubt may come with this word that why they're specifically mentioning the services in consulting firm. Okay, but I think you guys are able to answer it. Why they're mentioning it? Because this is the service which is crossing its limit. Correct. Because this is the one which is exceeding 10%. Correct. Which is exceeding 10%. So that's why they have mentioned the name over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether it is possible, Mr. Sitaram, to opt for competition levy only for showroom? 1,000 times we have answered. So no. Separate registration cannot be taken for the same unit registered under same PAN. Okay. Rework. If Mr. Sitaram is running restaurant as well as ready-made garment showroom, whether he is eligible for competition? Definitely it is. If the turnover of the garment showroom is 75 lakh in the preceding year and there is no consulting firm, whether he is eligible for competition scheme? Yes, then also is eligible. Why? Because when we'll see only turnover of garment of showroom, okay, what will be the limit over there? The limit will be 1.5 crore, correct? And in this restaurant, okay, and is this restaurant as well as garment, okay, what will be the combined limit? The combined limit will be 1.5 crore only, correct?
Yeah, sure. 1.5 crores. 150 lakhs or 1.5 crores.
Okay. So why Himanshu is so silent? Okay.
He might be having food.
Okay. Next example. Mr. Rahim is a dealer who is selling taxable goods, exempted goods, non-taxable goods, that is liquor. His turnover in the preceding financial year. Yeah. Yeah. Come up again. Himanshu, I think it was. Okay. So what they're saying, non-taxable goods is also being supplied in the preceding financial year, 35, 10 and 15 lakh, which are leviable to GST, exempted and non-taxable respectively, whether Mr. Ram is eligible for competition scheme or not.
No, he is not eligible because he is supplying liquor.
Correct. Mr. H registered in Hyderabad, who is selling goods from Telangana to Tamil Nadu. Shall I read it again? Shall I read it any further? Telangana, Tamil Nadu, interstate. Correct?
Yep.
Okay. Whether your answer will change if Mr. H is making purchase from Tamil Nadu and selling it to Telangana? Whether your answer will change? Yes, it will change. Why? Because when he is so suppose this is Tamil Nadu. Okay, he's purchasing from here. Okay, so where is he purchasing? He's purchasing in Telangana. Okay, so what is this? This is inward supply.
Yeah.
This is inward, and we know on inward there's no restriction. There can be interstate, import, anything. But on outward supply, restriction is there. So now it is he's purchasing from Tamil Nadu and selling in Telangana. Previously, what he was doing, he was selling from Telangana to Tamil Nadu. Okay, so this was his outward supply, not inward supply, and now it is his inward supply. Correct.
But Shivam, for the inward supply also, we might have read a condition that it should not be there in the stock.
No, that is on the day you are opting for it. I told you forgot that condition. That is very bad. See, it is having a cross effect now. I told you yesterday, I am not very far in this point. Why it is? This is the reason.
Okay.
So that's why I have not included that in notes my as well, because I know that why they have given it. Even in Act also, in Bear Act also, none of such conditions are given. So I'm
Mhm.
not very.
For inward supply, there may be interstate transaction. The
There
scheme
can be, correct. Anyone will have it. Suppose I'm a local market. I am having a shop in locality. Correct. So what government will see? Government will see what I am supplying. Correct. They won't see where I am purchasing it because there I'm paying taxes. That's not the government. What government sees what I am supplying, whether I am charging tax or not, whether I am doing interstate or not. Because we know in aggregate turnover also, of current year, means of previous year, what we do, we add interstate also. If you remember, if you guys remember, okay, let me show it to you. It will be more clear. See, in aggregate turnover, okay, all taxable supplies excluding value of inward supply, exempted good, export of goods, services, interstate supplies as well. Because why? Because in aggregate supply we see previous year. So there might be possibilities when you are not registered, you might have done some interstate supplies. So that is included in aggregate turnover. Correct? So that's why I was not in very far of that condition. Or maybe I'm not that good enough to get that point what they are saying. Okay, but that won't make any changes. Okay, because
Yeah,
whatever
got
our
it.
answer should have came, we have given that. Okay, so he's not eligible, but purchasing from Tamil Nadu is eligible for competition because there is no restriction. There is restriction on outward interstate supply, not on inward interstate supply. Correct. Now let's see the next one. I think no delay. Correct. Turnover of Mr. Roy in the preceding financial year is 49 lakh. Mr. Roy has opted for competition scheme during the year 18 February 20 whatever it is 2000. Turnover of Mr. Roy exceeds 1.5 crore. What are the compliance is required to be paid by required to be fulfilled by Mr. Roy? Yeah. Now anyone come up. What he has to do, because he has exceeded this. Okay, because he has exceeded it. So what he need to file? CMP 0.
Yeah, CMP 04.
04 intimation
04.
or application of withdrawal of competition scheme.
Correct.
And what day he will be assumed to be out of competition scheme? On this date. 18th February is the date when his limit gets triggered. So it's thrown out of. That means from 19th February he can have interstate, he can collect ICC, ITC. Correct. Everything is eligible for him. But what he has to done, he has to file CMP 04. Okay, and there is a time limit of within 7 days.
7
They have
days.
written it. It's not needed to be learned, but okay. Just you need to know what is to be filed.
There is some disturbance actually.
Yeah.
I'm not able to.
I think Chandu is sitting in his drawing room.
Oh, okay.
In front of TV.
Yeah.
Now it's
Okay, I may repeat it again.
Yes.
What they're saying is that preceding year his turnover was 49 lakh. Okay, so he's eligible for this year. Correct. 49 was only, but this year on 18th February 2000 his turnover exceed 1.5 crore. Okay, and if you have seen Sunday's lecture, then you must be knowing what they mean to see. If you have seen the lecture, then this will clear it out. That on 1/4/2000, whatever it is, till 31st/3/2000, whatever it is. Okay, so this is the period. This is 18th February. Okay, here his limit has exceed 1.5 crore. So for this period, he will be under normal scheme. Okay, but for this period, this whole period, he was under competition scheme. So whenever he will pay tax, so suppose his turnover gets up to 2 crore. Okay. So what he will do, because he was already registered. Okay, I gave you example where he was not registered at 40 lakh, that registration limit got triggered. That was the reason we didn't take the value till 40 lakh. But here, as he has opted for competition scheme at the beginning, so on this whole 1.5 crore, he is eligible to pay tax on. He's a dealer, so 0.5 of taxable turnover, correct. But on this 50 crores, 50 lakhs, 1 crore, 2 crore, 50 lakhs, whatever applicable rate it is, he will pay tax on this. And these were the examples. Okay, these were only the scenarios which I have made it like this. These are the same examples. I took it from there only. These are the same example. Okay. Rekha, if I missed that video, I know you might be feeling what it is, where it is going, what it is doing.
Yes, yes. I'm feeling like that one from yesterday.
And Shivam is feeling happy.
It's
Himanshu is
recording,
not asking.
Himanshu.
Himanshu
It's
is
recording.
Himanshu is not asking any question because that's good. We can know now he's
That-
not very clear with it.
That's why
No,
Shivam is
I
happy.
have one question.
Not now, after the class.
No,
Example.
it's related to this example only.
Okay, yeah, come on.
Actually, maybe you have told earlier as well. I'm not sure. Last example कौन सा था? ये था ना भी. Form GST CMP 04. Is it for ending composition?
No, it is for application of withdrawal or intimation or application for withdrawal from competition scheme.
And
And what-
this ITC 01 is for entering journal.
Entering journal for not for now, for those who were previously registered under pre-GST Act. So for them, CMP 01 was there. Now one who is opting for the first time, okay, and now he's opting for competition scheme. So what he will do, he will just file REG 01, and there part B is there. There will get registered. But suppose one who is already registered and now opting for, like in this case, 49 was triggered, so he might be registered. Okay, we assume it he's registered. So for this year, what he will do, he must have filed CMP 02, okay, along with ITC 03, correct. And I told you the date also of CMP 02. What was the date before the commencement of the next financial year? You go through the video once, you'll be cleared. Because you asked Chandu, because he's been in the class, he's getting everything what I'm saying. Just because you guys have missed some classes, that's the reason. Right? There's some lag between you and me. Okay, next one. Messrs Private Limited is a manufacturer having 2 units, namely A in Andhra Pradesh, unit B in Tamil Nadu. Total turnover of 2 units in the last financial year was 95 lakh, 10 lakh unit A, 85 lakh unit B. Turnover of 2 units in the second quarter of the financial year was 15 lakh. Okay. Applicable rate of CGST. Okay. Find the net tax liability. Okay. Note Mr. X Private Limited is not availing input tax credit. Correct. So can anyone correct me out that he's not availing ITC and he's applying 9 and 9% rate? So what they're trying to say. First of all, this rate won't be applicable to them, correct? Because if they have given that he is not availing input tax credit, that means he must be a competition dealer. Otherwise, who the fool he is that he is not availing input tax credit? Okay. So since the company is not availing benefit of input tax credit, company can pay GST under competition levy under section 10 subsection 1. Okay. So he is a manufacturer. See, they have given the word. So in manufacturer, what was the tax rate? 0.5 plus 0.5 of total turnover. Total turnover. See what they have done in previous financial year. Okay. In second quarter, 5 lakh, 10 lakh. Okay, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. They have done on this. Okay, not on previous year. This is given of previous year. correct? They have said manufacturer, that means of total turnover, correct? If there's nothing was written, we would have assumed it to be a dealer, and the rate would have been 0.5%, but of taxable turnover. Yeah, Chandu, any question?
No, no, Shivam.
Okay.
I just came back to my room.
Okay. It's quite now. Okay, two more.
Shivam, can you repeat that previous example, please?
I will definitely, but thing is that you might not get it right now also. I'll repeat it. So what they're getting, they're giving, and turnover of the last financial year was 95 lakh. Okay, 10 lakh and 85 lakh. Okay, we need not to see whatever the turnover of the respective units are. It is 95 lakh. So he is eligible for competition scheme. Why? Because we know for manufacturer, it is there any word like manufacturer of services? No. Manufacturer is always of goods. So whenever goods
Yes.
come into mind, what is first thing that comes? Section 10(1).
Section 10(1),
and
which
we
is
know here the limit is 1.5 crore
150.
or 75 lakh, whatever the
Yep.
case it is.
Yep.
And they're saying Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, so 1.5 crore will prevail. So his previous year turnover was 95 lakh, that means less than 1.5 crore. He is eligible for competition scheme. Now they have given of just, you might think what is they're saying, that second quarter, correct? So why they're saying second quarter? Because in competition scheme we pay tax quarterly. Okay, so they have given data of the second quarter. That means definitely first quarter is done. So what they're saying, 15 lakh is what total service it is. Okay, or total turnover it is. 5 lakh of unit A and 10 lakh of unit, 5 lakh of unit A, 10 lakh of unit B. And we know while paying tax, A and B are different person. So for A on 5 lakh, 0.5 plus 5 lakh, 5 lakh on 0.5, that have they are done 5 lakh, 0.5, 0.5, and for B it is 10 lakh, so 10 lakh into 0.5 and 10 lakh into 0.5. That's what they have done, 5,000 and 5,000.
Okay.
Correct? This is the example where those who have not attended that session will definitely face problem. This is easy. Okay. Mr. CMA Ram is a practicing cost accountant in Patna, Bihar. He commenced profession on 1st April, whatever it is. His annual turnover intrastate is 70 lakh in the financial year. Wow. Find the tax liability under competition scheme. Wired notification 29 Central Tax Act, normal rate suggested. Okay, leave it. If any, okay. But that said, no need to read with that. So what is that? So that he has commenced is from 1st April. Now that number line will come into place. This number line is came. Okay. You guys, those who have missed that session, try to understand from this session. I'll explain this in detail. So what they're saying, he has commenced his profession, correct, on 1st April. Okay, give me a case, okay, or answer me, whenever someone is commencing his business, he's whether he has to get registered? No. And the truth fact is, no one does get registered. So on 1st April, okay, 1st April, let's check our own financial year, okay, it is 22 and 23. Okay, so 1st April 2022, okay, it was the time when he started his business. So they have given time till the end of the financial year. Okay, 31st/3/23. Correct. This is the end. They are saying his turnover in this year was 70 lakh. Correct. And for this, I may give you example. This thing, that registration. Okay, for one who is providing services is 20 lakhs. Okay. So suppose at this place, at any place in this year. Okay. Let's say, for example, this is 31st July. Okay, now he has crossed limit of 20 lakh. So till this period, was he registered?
No.
he was not registered. Correct? So tax liability is 0.
Nil.
Correct?
Yes. Yes.
But for this next 50 lakh, or not at all 50 lakh also, because we know that for services the limit is only up to 50 lakh.
Yep. Yep.
So this is the limit where his composition scheme gets triggered.
Correct.
Correct? So 20 to 50, that means this 30 lakh is
He will be
that
in
turnover.
composition
He is in composition scheme.
scheme.
So
Yes.
services, he is in services. So what is the applicable rate? Applicable rate is 3%. Correct?
Yeah, he's
And they have given normal rate is 9%, 9%. So for this 20 lakh, this difference, this 20 lakh, so tax liability is 9% plus 9%.
9%. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Are you guys clear with it?
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect.
Those who attended, I know they will definitely get.
Shivam, I have a doubt. You told that from 1st of April to 31st July, you are telling that it is not registered. When he commenced the profession on 1st of April, at that time itself, it will get registered, right? How
Why?
you are telling that it is?
Why it will get registered? And okay, you start giving. So for example, you are a practicing cost accountant. You know your turnover limit is 20 lakhs. So on the first day when you have start your business, will you get registered to pay tax? Say me honestly, will you get registered when you know 20 is the limit?
No.
So for you something different, for him something different. What Ram has done some mistake that he has to get registered. You are making him register.
Okay. Then.
And he's Ram. He's Ram. He should get all the benefit.
Got it.
Okay. So normally things we have to assume this way only, and this is the practicality. If you provide services, correct, you know till 20 lakh there is no what I mean to say, no registration liability on you. Okay, will you get registered and pay tax till this period? If you get registered, okay, composition scheme, then also 0.3% you have to pay. Okay, example has changed. This example which I have given, which was this was example. This example that in preceding year only it was 49 lakh, and he has opted composition scheme during the year. Means on current financial year he has already opted. For him, the line would have been like this: that on 1st April, okay, on 1st April he was registered. So at this date, okay, let's for example they have given that 1.5 crore has exceeded, and I have said 2 crore. Why I am saying that this whole 1.5 crore is taxable under composition? Because previous year only his turnover was 49 lakh, and he has said that he has opted for composition scheme. If nothing would have been said, then also we have assumed it. Why? Because previous year turnover is 49 lakh. If it was of services, we are getting that we need to connect 2-3 things together. And when business will start, definitely it will not get registered. This is clear-cut example of the number line which I did on Sunday. Exactly this example was there.
Okay, on 31st July, how you are telling that this turnover has got increased? In question,
I'm assuming for your understanding. Correct. If I would have said that 50 lakh is here, 70 lakh is here. See what? Okay, let's do one thing. Okay, let me do one. Okay, let's read this solution. Can you get it? Let's see.
We can take any dates, Rekha. Okay. It's not that.
Total turnover was 70 lakh, less up to which no registration is required 20 lakh. Balance taxable turnover is 50 lakh. 6% GST applicable on turnover, which is 30. This is
30 lakhs.
50 minus 20. Okay, GST at normal rate applicable on turnover on the 20 lakh, 70 minus 50, 3%, 3%, 9%, 9%. Can you get it right now? What they're saying? No. But when you see this example, you will get it. That's why they have said, why here no tax is liability, why this 20 lakh is getting this 20 lakh. Okay, so that why this 20 lakh is getting cut. Okay, and why on this 30 lakh only 3% is paid. Okay, and why on this 20 lakh, which is nothing but 50 lakh minus 70 lakh. Why I am saying this?
Yeah.
I drew this, or why I have drawn, for your better understanding. Otherwise, I would have read it. You have said, oh, what is this? Go through it once. Okay, no issues. Go through it once. I can continue again. Okay, and what they have said that they have also given this this one, that in the next financial year Ram is not eligible for competition scheme. What is the reason so?
Because he is already in the normal scheme.
Already in his normal scheme, not very much convinced.
Normal rate C50 minus 70.
Not
Not
very
within
much
scheme.
convinced. It was correct to a bit point, but I expect better from you.
Shivam, why
Yeah.
we have taken 6% of
Because 3% is the rate chart, Sunday's class.
6% of what? 50 lakhs.
Why 50 lakhs? 6% of till 20, no registration was there, correct? And on till 50 it was registered. So 20 minus 50, 30 lakh is the amount on which 3% plus 3% has to be paid. What they have done, see, 6% applicable turnover on 30 lakh, 50 lakh minus 20 lakh.
Okay.
Chandu,
So in
your
the
answer
next
was
year,
correct to a point, but main thing you missed it. Is that
I think
because this year his turnover is 70 lakh, which is more than 50 lakh.
more
so
than
here
50
he
lakh.
can't opt
Okay.
for competitions.
Correct. I mean, yes. I could have rephrased it.
That's why I told that it's good, but I'm not convinced. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
Thank you.
Okay. No. Okay. Now this aggregate turnover will come. Okay. So but they're saying that Mr. C of Chennai, being a trader, provided following information. Okay, they have said trader. So whenever trader is there, it should always 0.5% of
0.5%
of taxable
of
turnover.
taxable turnover.
It should be. It is very important for this exam.
Yep.
So what they're saying that being a provider, trader provided the following information related to the preceding financial year. Intra-state supply of taxable good, okay, included. Exempted good, yes, included. Interest of taxable services, okay,
Included.
Interstate outward supply in which recipient is liable to pay GST. Outward supply on reverse charge basis.
No, it is not included.
We'll keep it. Export of goods.
Included.
Interstate inward supply of good.
Inward supply of goods is not taken.
CGST and SGST paid.
It is excluded.
Correct. Just this point is left. Okay, on outward supply, reverse charge is paid. Correct. Why do you think it should not be added? Now let's talk like this. Who thinks it should be added? Why so? If not, why so? We know inward supply and which reverse charge is applicable. That is safe.
It should be added. It should be added.
Should be added. Okay. Anyone
Because
with any other?
It's taxable service.
Okay. Any other point of view from anyone? Chandu, Rekha, Mohammed?
I am of the opinion that it should not be added because there is a concept of reverse charge here. Interstate outward supply of services on which recipient is liable to pay GST, reverse charge. So nowhere in the definition of
I may open the aggregate turnover definition for you.
Let's
discuss this. This aggregate turnover will be cleared for you guys. Let's discuss this. Let it come.
Aggregate supply, yes. It means the aggregate value.
So the point of view is this, because see, whatever, so there are two things, okay, one which is general, and one which is what I mean to say, not general, okay, special. When can we differentiate between one which is general and one which is special? those are special, okay, may be included or excluded, okay, or excluded, will be clarified by the government. But anything which is not being clarified by the government, correct, it is said in the law or not said in the law, it is assumed to be general. So because we know interstate inward movement on which RCM has to be paid, when they have mentioned that this has not to be added, correct, then we are of that thought that if this has not to be added on an outward supply and RCM is paid, okay, that should have that the government should have mentioned that also in somewhere else, not in act, maybe rules, maybe circulars at any places, but they haven't. So on outward supply, no issues. Reverse charge, forward charge, whatever it is to be included. Correct. You all got it?
Yeah, Shivam.
Now let's see what we have done and what we haven't. We said that interstate inward supply is good, is not to be taken, CGST is not to be taken. Is it that? Yes, only these two are not taken, all are taken. Now let's calculate the value. Someone please calculate the value and confirm me once whether it is eligible for compulsory.
Exempted goods, why we are excluding? Second number.
Why we are
exempted, why we are including?
Because you didn't read the turnover. Aggregate turnover definition which I opened just now. There is written exempted good has to be taken in aggregate turnover. Okay. Yeah, clearly stated. Non-taxable goods are not to be taken.
Okay. So Shivam, the total is 94.
94. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is eligible.
Yeah, he is eligible, but he is only a trader, right? Yeah, he is eligible. Even the services also will not be more than 10%.
Correct? Because 9.4 is allowed. You have done only 9.
Yeah.
These are the services then. Okay.
Correct.
Don't worry, I'm not speaking anything. I just showed you that you guys were correct. Okay, so my opinion to them who are in live or who are seeing it recording, okay, go through that Sunday's lecture, composition scheme lecture 2, because that is what is main content of lectures over there. Okay, you won't find anything important in this section. That is most important. Okay, now we'll continue with MCQ. Okay, so now let's continue with the MCQ of the composition scheme. Okay, so let's go. What is the threshold limit of turnover in the preceding financial year for opting tax under composition scheme for states other than special category state? What are the turnover limit?
1.5.
Yes, 1.5 crore.
Okay. What is the threshold limit of turnover in the preceding financial year opting to pay tax under special category? 75 lakhs, correct?
Yes.
What is the rate applicable under CGST to a registered person being manufacturing opting to pay taxes under composition scheme?
Under CGST. So it is.
No, I think no composition for manufacturing.
No, 0.5.
Impressive. No composition for manufacturer. We know for manufacturer it is 0.5 of total turnover. And for dealer it is 0.5 of taxable turnover.
Okay.
What is the rate applicable under CGST to a registered person being a hotelier providing restaurant and accommodation
opting to pay taxes under composition? 2.5% provided the other service is not more than 10% of the turnover.
Yeah, D.
You all vote for D.
Yeah, because he is providing restaurant and accommodation.
Correct.
Had he been given only only restaurateur, then it would have been 2.5%. But
Correct.
accommodation service is given, that extra condition has to be satisfied.
Very correct. Okay, now see this mistakes which I have done. Pardon me for the mistakes. This is
That's
option
okay,
B.
sure. We can understand that.
C. This is A. Okay, and this
What
is
mistake?
There was no space, I guess.
No,
That's
means
all.
I forgot to make it separate. Okay, I have done at many places, but few I have missed out.
Mr.
Okay, what they say? Mr. Roshan, Ritik Roshan, a trader in Mumbai, has opted for competition scheme of taxation under GST. Determine the rate of total GST payable to him under competition scheme. Trader.
Trader. Option A, 0.5 CGST, 0.5 SGST.
Very correct. Chandu could have taken this MCQ session. A business person has 3 business units and has opted to register 1 unit under competition scheme, another to under normal scheme. State whether
No,
he can do it or not.
this cannot be done. This cannot be done.
This cannot be done. Not on subject of central government approval of concerned state government.
No. Answer is no. B.
Which of the following persons can opt for competition scheme? Person making any supply of goods which are not liable to tax under this act. Person making any interstate outward supply of good or service except
Shivam, you're
restaurant service.
talking?
Yes. Am I not audible?
Yeah, audible.
I'm
Shivam, you're
audible,
Yeah.
I think Chandu some network issue. Okay. Person making any interstate outward supplies of goods or service except restaurant service. Persons affecting supply of goods through e-commerce operator liable to collect tax at source. Persons providing restaurant services. Who is liable among all this?
B is not the answer. A is also not the answer. C or D? I think D.
Correct. D. Okay, let me check once for
Chandu has lost, I think. Chandu? Yeah,
Chandu is
Chandu is
lost.
not there.
Yeah, Chandu.
Sorry, I think I had
Internet
connectivity issue here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so 7 is done.
Yeah, it is saying that persons who can opt for competition scheme, it is not taxable supplies, interstate outward supply except restaurant they have said, or eco, and they have said person providing restaurant service. So among these only
Okay.
restaurant service are eligible.
Okay. Yeah, correct.
Can competition scheme be availed if registered person affects interstate supplies?
No.
Composition
No.
scheme. Interstate
No.
supplies, no, it cannot be.
A dealer registered a competition scheme, he can avail ITC on inward supply.
We can avail ITC on inward supply.
Composition supply, I think we can't avail ITC.
ITC on inward supply, no, he cannot.
Yeah.
Can a registered person opting for competition scheme collect tax on his outward supplies?
No, he cannot collect tax.
Yeah.
See, these are so simple. Rekha
is not feeling good. She's
See again.
No, if I tell something wrong, Shivam will record and he will laugh.
Let him laugh.
Why?
Don't worry.
That's why.
Don't worry.
Thanks.
Don't get deviated. Which of the following will be excluded from the, okay, which of the following will be excluded from the, which of the following will be excluded from the, okay. The computation of aggregate turnover, value of taxable supplies, value of exempted supplies, value of non-taxable supplies, value of inward supplies on which tax is paid on reverse charges.
Option D. Option D.
Exempt. Okay. D.
Because if you guys remember, in aggregate turnover of last year, not this year, non-taxable are also taken. Correct.
Yeah.
But this, okay, not now. Okay, it is not taken. It is taken. If a registered person under composition scheme and turnover crosses the specified limit during the year, state whether assessee will continue to pay tax under composition scheme during the remaining part of the year.
No.
Yes, he will cease to remain under composition scheme for the quarter following the quarter in which aggregate turnover exceeds the threshold limit. He can continue under composition scheme till the end of the financial year. He will be liable to pay tax at normal rate of GST on the entire turnover for the financial year. He will cease to remain under composition scheme with immediate effect.
He will cease to remain under composition scheme.
I think option D. He will cease to remain under composition scheme with immediate effect.
Yeah.
Immediate
The
effect.
example 18 February was the date.
Yeah.
I told that from 19th February he's out of it.
Yep.
What is the tax rate applicable on a composite dealer falling under reverse charge mechanism? Said supply is exempt, taxable as applicable to
not applicable in composition supply.
Yeah. Option C.
RCM is not applicable on composite supply, none of the above.
C.
How you all can do this mistake?
Tax rate applicable on composite dealer.
Falling under composite dealer, falling under reverse charge. I told you reverse charge provision will apply as same as it is. The tax rate will be as normal as on reverse charge because he is paying the tax. He's not collecting. Finally, I got something interesting.
Okay.
Yes,
mistake.
Everyone is wrong.
Mistake. Yes. Okay. So it says what is the tax rate applicable on a composite dealer falling under
They are
reverse
asking
charge
tax rate.
mechanism?
They're not even asked whether it is included or not. They have in question only they have said that yes, tax will be applied at what rate.
Okay.
No,
yeah. Correct.
See again, no space. In which of the following special category states? In which of the following special category states? Limit of turnover of composition scheme will be 1.5 crore.
Assam.
What is the question?
Which of the following special turnover for composition?
Which of the following special category?
Special cannot be 1.5 crore.
Correct.
Or 1.5 crore cannot be special.
Yeah. In which of the following states? We can say which of the following states.
Let's modify it as 75 lakh. Then what will be the answer?
Which of the following special category states turnover will be?
No. We cannot.
75.
We cannot modify it 75 lakhs. Why? Because all the names are included.
Options.
Correct. So special category cut it. In which of the following limit of turnover for composition scheme will be applicable on 1.5 crore? Yes. Now it can be.
Assam.
Oh, I got it. There's no mistake in this question. This question is very correct and very good question. In which of the following special category state limit of turnover for composition scheme will be 1.5 crore? A. Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Uttarakhand. If you remember, at the first day when I said something as all Northeast
Uttarakhand.
Except
Assam.
Except Assam. Yes.
So,
but Uttarakhand is not in Northeast.
Yeah.
Uttarakhand is not in Northeast.
I'm not saying Uttarakhand. I told you. Okay, I don't have that PDF as well. I told you that all Northeast state, including all Northeast state except Assam and Uttarakhand. That was the line which was written in the book. Okay. And that is what I told you. I don't have that PDF, otherwise I would have shown you. So Northeast states, this Assam also falls in the special category, but still it has been given importance of 1.5 crore.
Yep.
Okay. Here it won't be there. I remember I have done it from CS Math, correct? It won't be there. Okay. Now, define aggregate turnover. Definition of aggregate turnover includes aggregate value of all taxable supplies, excluding the value of inward supplies on which tax is paid by person on reverse charge basis, exempt supplies, export supply of goods or service or both, and interstate supplies. Oh, this was the option. All of the above. What will you use?
Define aggregate turnover.
The same type of MCQ we faced last MCQ session as well. So they have just given
All of
the
the
definition. Yeah.
Yeah, all of the above is
Congratulations.
true in most of the cases, in most of the questions.
This is the whole definition they have given. They have divided into points. Definition of exempt supply will include. Yes, now it is. Supply of goods or service which attracts nil rate of tax, which may be wholly exempt from tax, non-taxable supply, all of the above.
Exempt supply is supply of goods or services
Come up,
which
Rekha,
attract
come up. Correct.
nil
You are
rate.
correct.
Yeah, A.
Non-taxable supply.
Huh? No, you are wrong.
No.
All of the above.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say all of the above.
No.
No, Shivam.
I thought
all
it was
of-
non-taxable supply.
Actually, Rekha, all of the above is true in most of the questions.
But every time it will not work, no, Himanshu.
Yeah, 90% will work.
Which of the following statements I
But
won't allow you-
Shivam,
Yeah.
I think exempt is different and non-taxable is different, right?
No, yeah, they are different. They are different to extent of applicable of tax, but they are not different in concept wise. You got my point? They are different. They are what I said. They are different as they are not. They are different as concept wise, but as per tax applicability, everything is same. Non-taxable means what? They are not included in the supply. You are correct to a point that
Correct.
non-taxable and exempt are two different things. But they are
But
saying
here we are
include.
checking the definition of exempt supply, right? That definition of exempt supply will
Yeah,
not include.
non-taxable supply falls under exempt supply definition. It falls under exempt.
Is it?
We know while reading DT, things were different.
Okay.
You are
No, I
mixing
thought
it up with DT, if I'm not wrong, with salary chapter.
no. I see exempt is like zero rated supplies.
Yeah.
Non-taxable is something which is kept out of the purview of GST.
Yeah. No, why non-taxable only out of GST? Non-taxable means what? Alcoholic liquor as well as 5 petroleum products. So 5
Correct.
petroleum products are in the preview of GST. Non-taxable does not mean that out of preview of GST. For time being now they have been, but 5 petroleum products is in the GST. Rate is not applied right now. That's something different.
Correct, but alcoholic liquor is also classified as non-taxable.
Yeah.
That means
It
to
is
say it
also
is
applied as exempt supply.
Shivam, 5 petroleum products are not included in GST, right?
Not yet.
No,
GST is
not
no,
yet,
they are
not yet.
included. Rates are not. It is not included in GST, but they have the right that they can at any time. I feel like before the end of this year, it will be.
Okay. For 16 question, I was under the opinion that option A is the correct answer. Supply of goods or service which attract nil rate of tax.
No.
Exempt supply is zero
Exempt
rated,
means,
right?
Exempt means, yeah, in registration chapter only. Okay, when we'll go through at first page only, we'll read something which defines nil rate, something which defines fully exempt, something which defines all taxable, and there is something which defines all of them, which is exempt supply. It is like that.
Okay, fine. Yeah. So
I'll
make a correction.
This all have a separate identity. Okay, they all have a separate identity. These three things. They have a definition in the act as well. Okay, but what is the common category among all this? That they all are exempt. You need to think like this. What is common between them? They all are exempt. So it has some definition under section 2, another section. But when we read exempt supply under section, when we read exempt supply, okay, when we read exempt supply under section 2, I cannot recall the clause number, whatever it is. There it is written that all three is included in exempt supply.
Okay. Yep.
In registration, it will be much more clear.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Now the next one, a good one. Which of the following statement is incorrect to a taxpayer who has opted for compulsion scheme? Incorrect. Okay. A registered person supplying goods under compulsion scheme shall issue a bill of supply. Last date of payment of liability to a tax, interest, penalty, fee, any other sum is 20th day of each
20th.
month.
Composition
Okay.
words. I think option B, Shivam.
Yeah,
Option
yeah,
B.
B is the
Composition
right
dealers
answer.
shall mention composite taxable word not eligible to collect tax on supplies and last date of payment of tax liability. Yeah.
B is
Which?
the right answer. 100% sure.
B is?
B is the right answer. B.
Okay. Why B is the right answer?
Quarterly, we have to. He has to file the return.
Quarterly, you have to find out.
On
File it. Correct.
13th of the following month at the end of each quarter.
13th of the each quarter.
Himanshu, you are saying B or D?
B for Bombay.
B. So you are saying tax is
B.
there, correct? But what about interest, penalty, fee, any other sum? You haven't yet read about this one. Just because you know tax when it is payable, you have included all this. And who said that only quarterly payment is being done? Monthly provisions are also there. Quarterly, yes, it is true. Quarterly it has to be paid, but monthly provisions are also there.
I think GSTR1 has to be filed monthly, GSTR3B has to be filed quarterly.
That I want to say right now. I'll say that in the registration chapter. So, okay, let me do one thing. Let me cut out this B point. What will be your answer?
D.
D. And if I can show you that this is the correct answer, I gave you a distinction between bill of supply and invoice, tax invoice. You remember? Tax invoice is what we seller to seller is being given. Correct? Or seller to seller, or a person to whom we are selling and he is going to take in ITC. For them, it is correct. Okay. For seller to seller. And bill of supply is what a seller transfers to the recipient. Correct. And bill of supply means one in which tax is included. Only simple invoice is there. Can only raise invoice. Remember, we read something on bill display, something we read something where it was written on invoice. Correct. Now you see that last payment of tax liability word is the 18th day of the month of each quarter. It is correct. Composite dealers have mentioned what composite taxable person not eligible to collect tax on supply at the top of bill of supply issued by him. It can also be wrong at the same time.
It's not correct. Okay. Yeah. I get this.
Because
yes.
If I can.
The question was a little bit confusing. Yes. I get this.
Okay. I can.
Which of the following statement is incorrect for a taxpayer who has opted for composition scheme? Yes. So he is going to issue, which is not correct. Bill of supply. So that should be the odd man out. Yes. Correct.
But
where is that?
On the basis of bill of supply, C is also wrong.
C is also not correct.
Yeah.
To extent.
To a certain extent.
A is definitely not correct. I can show you that where it was written. Mandatory display of words. Yeah. See. Is here bill of supply written? Invoice is written, correct?
Yeah.
And invoice is something on which tax is not charged. Have you ever seen an invoice with a tax rate? I'm not talking about those big entities or registered persons, transaction between. But any unregistered, whatever we get it is invoice only. Do you see anywhere written bill of supply? You have got a bill of supply ever in your life? No, you won't. You have always got invoices.
Yeah.
In simple, we call it bill, but not supply of bill. Bill de do bhaiya.
Correct.
So that is also wrong to extent. This one is also wrong, but this is 100%.
Yeah.
This is 100%. Okay. And why this 20 day of each month? Yeah, some provisions are there. Okay, we'll read it in the registration chapter. Why a composition dealer is eligible to pay all this on each month. Okay. It's a very rare situation where per month payment has to be done. Okay, I think we are 10:30 is done. Okay, from 18th illustration, you guys try it once, and on Saturday session we'll discuss it. Okay.
Yep.
You guys try it once. I'll share the answer as well. We'll discuss it on the Saturday, and we'll start with a new chapter. So that's all for today, and this all completes our composition scheme chapter. Those who are watching in recording, any doubt, feel free to contact me. Thank you all.